Insta.
Insta. Insta. Insta. Insta. Insta. Oh, we're live on Facebook. Good morning, Mr. Berger. How are you?
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Morning Minutes with myself, Michael Berger, and Mark Novak. That was the worst tap ever. Service is key. Service has changed so many industries for the better, and it's also exposed a lot of industries who didn't really adapt well, probably put service at the top of their list. Are you jumping on Instamark same time?
I am. You know what? It actually almost it's single-handedly sunk a lot of people very quickly. I think service, particularly in the last 16 weeks, you've seen people that have not been up to speed. You know what a really typical one is? And this morning's about Snap and survival, but a really good example of that actually is with food. A lot of operators did not at all want to touch Uber Eats. They didn't want to touch Deliveroo, and then have really, then COVID hit, and then really suffered. They haven't snapped into that in line straight away.
Yeah. Good morning, Admiral. Good morning, Lisa. I've got you now in my ear, so that's all good. Yeah, and I think it was that resistance to change, but also I think a lot of people hid behind quality. They sort of put themselves in a box going, I can't deliver a good service or a quality product if I do it fast, so I won't try, and I'll just do it how I've always done it, not adapt, and the customers will stay with me. And to be honest, I think people have always chosen speed and convenience over quality. Look at McDonald's. I don't think anyone would rate them one of the best burgers, but they sell the most because it's convenient and speed. So I think a lot of operators sort of doubled down on the wrong horse if you're going for quality over convenience. What do you reckon, Mark?
Yeah, and I think that's why Snap's important, because these days, if you're not snappy, like I'll give you an example with our family with ordering in. It really changed because we used to go online and look at what we actually wanted to consume, what we were feeling like, whether it was Italian, whether it was Chinese. And now I've noticed with our kids, they will actually go to the food that is going to be delivered the quickest, which is really interesting. They will form that decision around what they feel like. So number one is speed, and number two is coming up with the rest of it.
That's so interesting. So instead of looking at the menu, you're looking at their ETA on deliveries. 10 minutes, under 10, 20 minutes. It's so true. That just sums it all up. So
it sums it all up because, and the question is that happening with other industries? Is that happening with real estate agents? Is it happening with hired services that you've got, coming into your home? So,
well, we saw that with the taxi industry. So there's food. Before that was taxi, and that was speed, convenience, and knowing. Then if you break it down to even fashion, look at Iconic. When they came into the market, I think it was really when they launched same-day delivery, it exploded for them. Like if you look at their
Amazon
growth, it's huge. And then I reckon that would have been the key for Amazon to look to Australia, because they saw what Iconic did, and Iconic's very similar to Amazon, or I think it's the same model, isn't it? Everything like just delivery. So
I think the beauty of Amazon is logistically, it's a logistical nightmare to have to get stuff out for people who go through the whole process of shop, purchase, payment gateway, account, distribute, get out the door fast. It normally takes people, but people are opting more and more. So when you come across to our real estate industry and you say, okay, well, that doesn't matter, I'm just a fantastic negotiator, or that doesn't matter because I'm just a rock star of a real estate agent, that's not going to cut the mustard.
No.
Because a lot of industries have just died on that. Allow me to give you an example. Right, so we would have thought that Maya, and we would have thought that DJs had a pretty rock solid model. You've been on their website lately?
Nope.
Go and have a look. So Lisa walked in there the other day and she mentioned she was going in for some work shoes. She's standing there and she said, look, I really want to buy work shoes. And they said, oh, look, sorry, that's not my department. And she's like, okay, can you get someone? So she's standing there 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 9 minutes. She says, look, I've been waiting for someone. And then they said, oh, look, it was another person. She said, I'm sorry, it's not my department. This is another lady, but I'll get someone for you. Anyway, there was a whole bunch of people huddling in the corner around the other side of the room. And she walked up to them and said, look, by any chance are you guys here talking about customer service? And anyway, ripped in a little bit saying, look, I'm waiting over there wanting to spend the money. And I know we spoke about this the other day, but, it's not, I'll tell you where people have missed it. Where they missed it, and these guys, is Lisa still wanted to actually go in for the shopping experience. So everyone's infatuated with
touch and feel, the whole looking around, everything.
Right? So DJs and Myers is building their business around the touch and feel. People do prefer to come in. It's true. But where they've missed the point is you've got to be able to snap and you've got to be able to serve. And if you don't, you're going to lose that person's going to revert back to snap and serve, which will be online. And then in our industry, and I think
but I'll just say with the point of, I'll let you finish, go.
No, go.
No, I was just saying, because when you told that story and the penny dropped for me, and I think everyone listening will be able to relate to this. You've gone into a store, and when you said this, Mark, I was like, oh my fucking God, like I couldn't believe it. So you go into a store and they say, we don't have that product, the other store has it. And then they basically say, we can maybe bring it in for you or you can go there. Why don't they just buy it online for you straight away and get it delivered to your home? Why do you have to drive somewhere else? Everything's online. And I was like, wow, the amount of stores I've gone to when I know they have online shopping and they know they have online shopping. But when you walk in there and if they don't physically have the product, it's almost like they forget they have the online system and that whole logistics where you could buy it from their computer, which would be the same as you buying from home, and it gets delivered wherever you like. Instead of sending you away or sending the stock from that store to the other store for you to pick it up. And the penny just dropped going, wow, the amount of times I haven't bought something because I've walked in and they've just said,
no size.
No size. It's at another store. Do you want to go to Chatswood? It's like, I'm not going to Chatswood. And then you leave and you don't think about buying online, like they missed the boat. But if they said to me there going, no worries, we'll buy it for you now. Where would you like it delivered? My home. Boom.
Take your money.
Place of work. Boom. Take my money. I was in there to spend the money.
Mate, it would have been 20 years ago, it would have been pretty impressive for you to tell me that you have something in another store. I'd be like, wow, that's pretty cool technology, because you know what's in the other store and you can get it back in here. That's pretty cool. Today, that is like dinosaur stuff. And what stuff are we missing in the real estate industry that's dinosaur? That's what I'm worried about. That's not serving people. Couple of things: application processing a tenant application. We do like dinosaurs. It's almost like take a ticket, wait for your chicken for 2 hours. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And that's where we went to that sort of digital application. The fast pre-approval application. Because you're right, that rental process, it just seems very, very outdated. Very outdated.
Archaic. I'd love to know what people that are not or are in the industry, I'd love to know what frustrates you about real estate agents and service to real estate agents, because email inquiries.
Yeah, well, one form, back on the applications, one form was a good step in the direction, but that needs to be taken tenfold. Like, that's probably like the first step, and everyone's gotten comfortable because it was so much better, but you can improve on that so much further. Email inquiries and time, speed. What you just think when you're in the shop, when you want to buy something, you want the info then and there, not half an hour, the next day. So what do we do, Mark, to speed that up? When someone inquires online, say realestate.com, see a property, I inquire.
9-minute inquiry turnaround.
Yep.
So basically what actually happens, guys, is when you contact our office, what we used to do was it would go to a salesperson. This is what the industry does as well. And it just sits in the salesperson's email box until they have time to come back to you. Not effective because agents are sometimes in an appointment for an hour or two. Sometimes they've got back-to-back appointments, not effective. What we do at Novak is we do a team system where it actually goes to the agent who we call as the listing agent. And then it also goes to the entire sales team. And then if that listing agent does not have the ability to answer that inquiry within 9 minutes, it will then go out to the remainder of the team, and the team can jump on that. So we can virtually guarantee that within 10 minutes, we'll come back to prospective purchasers with an answer on their inquiry because of that email turnaround system, and also chat.
Yeah, and that's the email inquiry thing is great for vendors. And you got to remember that's who we work for. So some agents may think, oh, I lose a buyer, but you don't work for yourself. You work for the vendor, and it's in the vendor's best interest for a buyer to be answered to within 10 minutes, not 90 minutes, not 120 minutes, or at the end of the day. We're all busy. Like we've had days we haven't checked our phone for 6 hours. Like it's just, you get those days. And if you had a roundup of buyers who didn't get service, you're not doing your vendor the service that you said you probably would. So that's where it comes around.
And just to take away that confusion, the guys and girls, if you're not in the real estate industry, agents don't want to if they not only want to list the property, which they get paid on bringing it on the market in an agency split, they want to sell the property. So often when an inquiry comes in on their property, they don't want to share that inquiry because they won't get the selling commission, but they'll happily make the buyer wait. Our model is different, where we figure that, hey, sometimes if, Michael, you're in a movie on a Tuesday night and you simply can't take that inquiry, don't worry, chill. When I'm in a movie a week later on a Tuesday night and you're at home, you can service that inquiry. That truly is in the best interest of the seller. That truly is in the best interest of the buyer. And it's also in the best interest of the agent because they can relax, know that the inquiry is being sorted out. And when they're on game, they're gonna be able to jump on inquiries. Works a treat. Snap.
It is. And then even like chat online. I know Lisa does a lot of that on the website, the live portal. It is a real person. I think some companies try to do the shortcut with overseas technology to make it work, but I just don't feel it ever had that take off. People still want a real person. Like I was thinking the other day, even when we were with Paul Mark and he took a phone call for the restaurant, and it got me thinking, going, everything he said is online on his website. I know because I've done it. I've seen the website and then I've still called him because you want to speak to a real person. You want to have that contact or that reassurance that, I don't know how to explain it, but even and I'm sure anyone listening, if you've looked at booking a restaurant or an event and you know they've given you everything online because they've done it before, you still want to speak to a real person just for that, I don't know, just that feeling, just before you commit. And I think when companies tried to take that away with self-service or the robots, I think they just missed the boat, because the difference is by putting all that information online, you've cut down that human interaction conversation from maybe 10 minutes to 30 seconds, but you still need that 30-second conversation. But by doing all, because I think a lot of people thought, Mark, we'll put everything online and we go from a 10-minute convo to zero, nada. Don't call me, book online, see you when you come in, let me take your money. Not the case. You need that human interaction. And that's the exact same as the
people
buying
want
process.
To be snappiness. They want the snappiness. They want that. You know what it is? It's friction. They don't want friction. The less amount of friction, the more chance of them doing a transaction. I went out on Saturday night with solicitor friend, accountant, business consultant to a nice Chinese restaurant in the city. I was like, shit, what am I going to do with my car? It's more convenient for me to drive to get there because I was in a rush because I was finishing work at 6:30, had to be there at 7. So there's a company called Scooter Angels. And Scooter Angels, what they do is they will grab your car and they will pick you up late at night. They will put their scooter in the back of your car in the boot. It's a little motorized scooter.
This is so good. Yeah.
You heard of this?
No.
They put the motorized scooter in the back of the car. They drive your car. They got high vis on. It's hilarious. They drive your car and your mate's home. Then they get the scooter out the back of the car and off they go. So they're called Scooter Angels. So great concept, yeah?
Yeah.
Convenient concept, yeah?
Yes.
Guess where they got it wrong?
Where?
I rang them. So I went online and I ran online. It's like, yeah, great, cool. Okay, ring them. She was awesome on the phone. She was cracker of a chick. Yeah, great, awesome. Look, we're pretty full at the moment, but we can get you in if you do. If for I think it was $80. And I was like, cool, because if I got an Uber both ways, it would have probably cost me $150. So yeah, no worries. Okay, great, done. Anyway, she SMS'd me the form, and I'm like, yeah, cool. I opened up the form. It was 20 fields. I started filling out the fields and I got one wrong. And I was like, forget about it. Forget about it. Snap, they lost the deal.
Yeah.
Too much friction. People don't want that. What's your number? What's your name? What's your credit card? See you at this time. Like going on, like it was more convenient for her to send out the link. She lost the job. Real estate buyers can be lost on your property because your agent, there's too much friction to do the transaction. Yes, even on $1 million transaction, people still have emotions.
Yeah, very good point. Very good point. Hopefully they're listening. Anything else you want to add on today?
Nah, it's a changing world. Get rid of the friction. Snap is what people want. They want it to be real easy, real fast. And with the technology that we're all running in our world at the moment, it's not hard, but people have to get off their laurels like the white tablecloth restaurants. Get off your laurels and speed and convenience. People are chasing it more than anything else in the business at the moment.
It's true. All righty. Thanks, Admiral. Lisa, Andrew, for all your comments. Lisa, I really appreciate it. And we'll speak to you tomorrow.
What Lisa say?
Oh, just, hey, Admiral. No, I agree with service. He's the name of the game. Morning, Admiral. Lisa Kramer, good to hear. I don't have anyone helping me with my Facebook. Do it yourself. Agree. Yeah, all good.
Yeah, you got to do it yourself.
Solicitors taking their time. Yeah, that's true.
Get a faster one. Get a snappier one. Snappy. Yeah.
All righty, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Bye.
See everyone. Bye.